Good day, ladies and gents. Hope we're all good. Welcome to the last analysis for the week on synthetic indices. So we're going to start off with C500. So as you can see, I'm looking forward for a sell here. So I'm just going to explain my view a bit. So for today's move, I'm looking at this impulsive move. We've got an order block there, we've got an order block here, and this is an order block from H1. So we've got positions at current market price. This is based on price tapping into the H1 order block. So let me quickly jump to H1. You can see this was the lower high here. This is the order block. So price is tapped into this order block here. So that's my reasoning for the first sell. But if we go to M15, you'll notice that I still have points of interest all the way up to this zone here. So jumping down to M15, you will notice this was today's high. This is the highest high. This is the first order block. This is the second order block. And this is the one from H1, which you just mentioned. So price can still push up into this imbalance here, or into this order block here, or they can play around this area. So any zone here, wherever they reject or respect, that's where we're actually going to add more positions. So for now, that's my view, and I'm looking for price to drop at least to 44.30, which will make this a 20 pip move for the current positions. Then if we sell from the top side here, then we could aim for about probably 30 pips or more. So let me just go to the daily. Let's see where my target is. So daily, okay, there's a lot of, let me just remove this fib here. Okay, I think it's a bit visible now. So if you notice the daily, it's a pullback happening. So price has been pushing up, slight retracement, push up, retracement, push up, slight retracement, push up, retracement. So I'm thinking price could tap into the 13 EMA with this retracement. So also it might not yet be a reversal since we're still above the 13 EMA. So this will be a short-term trade. That's where my bias is coming from. H4, we're trading below 13 EMA. So bearish bias. H1, below the 13 EMA, impulsive move, broken structure. So now we are having a retracement within this impulsive move here. So if we can respect anything here, price can drop to 44.30, maybe slightly below. Let me just check. Slightly below. Maybe they might come to take out liquidity on the left here. So you see we've got these zones here, we've got a demand zone here. So we just see, but at least if we can get 20 to 30 pips from this trade, that will be perfect. Again, it could actually turn into a longer drop, but we'll just see how price acts when it gets to this area. So for now, that's my view. If they decide to break this level and break this high, that means our current trades will hit a loss, and we'll wait to see if price maybe might extend the high or something. If you notice, they did that yesterday. We had a sell, then they actually came back all the way up to take out the day's high before they actually dropped. So we cannot rule out the fact that they can actually decide to push this price all the way back up here, take out this high, maybe respect this zone here, then drop. That's also a possible play. But for now, our setup is within this area. So that's my view for C500. If you guys have got different views, you are free to share on the Telegram group so that we can discuss. C1000, we had an impulsive move. I didn't really have an entry, although there was a bit of a pattern. I saw it a bit late. So I just thought, let me just wait and see how price wants to play out. So I would still love to see some form of a good retracement before I can take a sell. Maybe price might actually come here before we get that retracement. So for now, I'm not active on this trade. If you look at it based on each one, this would be the last zone. So after we get this break, we need to get a retracement, then a continuation to the downside. So for now, all I can say is I'm just waiting to get a better retracement. If the retracement doesn't come and it just continues selling, then that will be a miss for me. I wanted to also quickly touch on yesterday's setup. Somebody sent me a question on C1000. And I said, yes, it's a possible intraday reversal. So the pattern we had was this. This was the highest part or the highest price for yesterday at that time. So price had created a higher high from this push, higher high. Then we broke the order block here, came back to retest. So I think we entered, I'm not sure what price we entered on, but we entered within this range here because we are anticipating this retest and a potential push down. So what happened is price pushed down, came back up, pushed down. I think I exited here because I realized this price was too bullish and the time it was so late into the evening. So I just decided to close it here. Then it retraced. They ended up extending the high before price actually sold off. So I wanted to explain this. Sometimes if you see price not playing out, you should actually exit the trade. So if you notice, this was the trade. You can call it a failed pattern because the pattern was there, but it didn't play out. Price extended the high. Then they sold here with a short term sell. Then they pushed up again. Then from here, they broke these two order blocks. Then they just melted down. If we got maybe a retracement, or if we get a retracement back into this area, I will consider my sales from there. But I think I'll need some more buyers to actually allow me to take sales here. Let me just see the zone here. Because daily is bullish, as you can see, we're trading about the 13, so we can continue pushing up if we do break this zone. But if we respect it, we might push down again back to the 13 EMA. So we might still consider catching a sell, but most likely maybe we might have to trade it tomorrow after we see how the daily candle closes. Because for now, it's not clear whether it wants to sell or it wants to continue pushing up. Because here we've got a zone. Here we're pushing from the 13 EMA. We also have a zone in there which has been respected. So not really sure how they want to move. So the best way, if we're not sure, is to just wait. So impulsive move, if they do retrace and reject somewhere here, then we can consider a short-term sell for now. And we'll just see how price will playing. I'll advise if I see anything different. So C5, we've got a runner. We just want to see if they will actually, I think they will most likely get into this gray zone, which you see on top here. So if you've got a running trade, just manage it accordingly. C3 refused to pull back yesterday. If you notice, I had run a fib from this high to this low, but there was no retracement to the 38.2. Price just continued accelerating down. So such setups, personally for me, they're hard to get into the trade if there's nothing clean. And this price has just been melting from the day before yesterday. So many supply zones, we're not even sure where price will respect. So many supply zones here. So let me just check the daily. Strong bearish as well. Okay, so for this one, for now, I do not have any entry point. Let me see. Maybe I might consider this level here. So as you can see from this drop, broken order block not retested, order block not retested, order block not retested, a level not retested. So price has just been accelerating. So if they do retrace, we're not sure where exactly they will stop. So we still have to wait for more confirmations, more rejection candles, especially on the 4-hour, so that we can take a sell. But we'll see if we can get maybe something. If they retrace from here, if they can come back up here, this zone for now, based on current market price, that's the high probability zone, this area here. So it's this zone, this supply zone, and the 38.2. That's if they start reversing from that level there. Then this point will be a high probability area to actually sell from, and we can most likely target these lows. But if they continue selling, then we just have to wait until we get some price action which we can use. So that's it for C3. B500, you can see this was yesterday's trade. Nice impulsive move here. Price retraced into the OTE. We first had a buy here. Then price retraced. Others took another buy here. Others took a buy here at the break of this level, because there was also an order block retest. So there were 3 opportunities to trade this one. The last one being the one which actually moved, but we still got good pips within these 2 moves. So today, what am I looking for? Let's see. So remember yesterday, this, I think, was it a short-term trade? Let's see. Okay, H1 trading below the 13 EMA, but we are currently in between the 50 and the 13, meaning price can still like be choppy or move up and down. So if we still get a buy pattern, I think we can still execute it. If we do get a buy pattern. So if you notice, we had a baseline bounce here. So we can potentially have another baseline bounce here. I think we mentioned this yesterday. That second baseline bounce, which will make it a double baseline bounce. So this low can actually be lower than these lows, but still be confirmed with a baseline bounce to give a long-term sell, which is going to break this zone. So for now, that's how I'm looking at it. So if we can still get a pattern to buy, I think we can still execute. So what I would love to wait for here is I want to see how price is going to act with this zone. Okay, I want to see how price acts with that zone. If we act from this zone, safe buys will be above this order block, but we can still get buy opportunities somewhere in here. But it will have to be like a pattern which has to fully form, like what we saw happening here yesterday. Price came, extended the low, then gave the impulsive move, gave the retracement for a solid buy here. So we need to wait for the pattern to fully form, get something familiar, then we can execute the trade. So this one I'll leave it on H1 and we'll keep stalking on it. B1, I think we should actually get ready for a possible buy here. Let me quickly check on my phone. Okay, buys are possible if you can have one buy position on B1. But what we want before we scale in, or before this becomes a high probability trade, we want to see price actually come and give a close above the zone. That will be the safest buy. We need a close above that zone, maybe a slight retracement, then we can commit into the trade. So for now, it would also look like price is still respecting the same zone, right? So if we get something like this, we can take profit here, or price might come back up here as well. So let me look at M15. Okay, M15, we've got this pattern here. It's actually a familiar pattern, almost looks like a baseline bounce, but it's a bit of a variation. So from this low here, which is the lower low. We had an order block here, which was retested. Minor structure here, and we still have an order block here, which also needs to be broken for price to actually give us a safe buy. So right now they could retrace either into here or into this level here. Those are my points of interest. So I think if we can actually get active with B1000, so we've got one position for now at current market price. We get the emotions involved. That's a point of entry or point of interest. 13,800 is a buy limit. So I'm just going to put buy limit 13,800. Then another limit at 13,785. Okay, that's it with the limits. So we've got a buy limit, we've got an open position, we've got a buy limit here, and we've got a buy limit here. Stop loss is outside the range. If price breaks above here, we're going to add, but still anticipate a retracement before price actually gives an explosive push up. That's my current view, and I feel like this, for now, this has got potential of actually playing out. There is potential of this actually playing out. So yeah, we'll come back to it. This is my view for B1. Okay, looks like this zone could actually be strong. If we can get the 4-hour also closing above the 13 EMA, that will also make our bias for longs a bit stronger. So if you notice from this fib we ran to this high, price hit the OTE, then pushed up. They didn't get to TP1 area. They actually came back to the OTE. So that also sort of adds to our bias there for buys. The daily though is the only one I'm not happy with, because if you notice on the daily, we are still below the 13 EMA. So that sort of takes away some weight on that buy bias, but either way, I'll be happy with the positions we have. Let's see if it's going to play out or not. So we'll check back on this one. Then going to J10, somebody mentioned J10 4-hour baseline bounce. Okay, there it is. I see it. So yeah, there's chances again J10 could be bullish, but let's actually do a full analysis here. I'm just going to clear this chart. Let me actually clear everything off here. Okay, weekly is bearish though. If you notice, weekly is bearish. Bearish in terms of the current week and the last week. We've been pushing down, but I'm just looking at it also with an open mind here, because this is also an order block. If you notice here, we've got a broken structure. Let me actually use this. Okay, price didn't take liquidity at the top there. Okay, so two things can happen. This price can continue pushing down, or they can respect this zone and they can push up to this level. That's what I'm seeing from the weekly. Then from the daily, we're also below the 13 EMA, although we've taken our liquidity from this low here. So we might push up. Possibilities of pushing up back to the 13 EMA are there, coming back up to these highs. 4 hour, you can see this whole week has been in a range. There's no major price movement. This whole week is a tight range here. So in here, this whole week, there's no price action to use here. So I'll rather be careful with the buys. If you're seeing a baseline bounce here, we want to see what price has been doing first for it to be high probability. So for now, there's nothing clear which has been happening. If you notice, the previous week, price also started like that. We had this range here. Let me actually make it gray. You see, we had this consolidation here. Then after that, if you notice, we also had a baseline bounce here, right? For buys, we also had a baseline bounce here. But a baseline bounce confirming, it has to confirm something which we are visibly seeing. So this is a whole lot of consolidation here. No clean price action here to use until price broke out. So when we broke out, price then just continued to melt. No clean retracements as well, even though the sell was there. But in terms of retracements on H4, there was nothing. So this particular baseline bounce, I don't want to, it's not high probability, that's my point. Because as you see, we still have that consolidation here as well. So is price going to break out to the downside? Are they going to push up and actually break out to the top, making this a valid baseline bounce? But if they do break out, we want a retracement, then a continuation. We don't want to just jump. Same as here, they broke out. Did we get a retracement? Maybe on the smaller time frames, but on H4, there was no retracement here. So this might have been a miss. So this for now is low probability. So just keep stalking on it though. Maybe we might get a good setup. So based on my trading, I also don't see a setup yet. There's no setup yet. What you want to see is price action actually moving like this. You want these moves within the week. With this price action, you can look for levels. You can take trades. You see, if price is just consolidating like it's doing right now, then you cannot do anything with this. All right, then going to V250 1S. I remember yesterday, this was our point of interest in this zone. Price actually ended up respecting this area and breaking this order block here. So this could have been a trade. They came back into the same zone, order block here, maybe a scalp buy here, but it wasn't that much of a big move. So nothing too clean here. Nothing too clean here. I even had marked this looking for something like this, but there's nothing too clean to use right now. Let me just check H1. Nothing too clean. So before I can trade this particular index, I want to see price get outside the 50 EMA, either come to the top side, or I want to see this price actually come fully on the other side. Like give an impulsive move, then I might look for sells. Give an impulsive move, then I might look for buys. But in terms of where price currently is, I do not have anything there. Then step index, I hope you took this trade yesterday. We had marked it. Continuation to the top side. Run your fib on this impulsive move. Price retrace to the 38.2 level. They first spiked, gave a bearish candle, then they gave an inside bar. Then from there, price just started pushing up again for another impulsive move. So this has been a nice uptrend. From here, it's clean push. You can run your fib. You can run your fib. Nothing here. You can run your fib here. Here, maybe we might run a fib, but price also has been pushing for a couple of days. So remember, after a couple of days of push, price might decide to retrace. But looking at this, we might still interact with a 13 EMA, so we might still be bullish. Short term though, nothing too long term. We might be bullish coming up into this level here. This is the daily. So again, we're also trading above the 13 EMA. That gives us a buy bias. On the 4-hour, what are we looking for? We're looking for demand zones. So which demand zone do we see here? The immediate demand zone I see is this one. This spike level here is a point of interest. The next demand zone is way on the bottom here. It's right here. It's just a very huge zone. All these candles here, that's a zone. So it's also lining up with this particular zone. So I would say if price gets into this area and gives us something to work with, then we can take the trade. I believe we can also run a fib on the 4-hour. You will see that the 38.2 is right here where our zone is. So price might actually break this and get into this area. If they do respect this, we take a buy. If they come a bit lower and they respect this, we can still look for a buy. As long as we are within this area, buys are still valid. All we need is a pattern. But for now, price will most likely retrace to the downside. Most likely retrace. I wouldn't want to look for sells here. I'd rather wait for a buy. So on the 4-hour, this is our point of interest, this gray zone. So I'm going to remove the fib. Then on the H1 now, the point of interest is lying on that week on the 4-hour, 61.8, as you can see here. Meaning that if there is acceleration in the market, if price continues with the way it's been moving, you can see the retracements haven't been deep. It's been like 30% of the overall trade or overall impulsive move. Then the price continues up, meaning we might actually just respect this area and continue pushing up. So just keep an eye on that. So wherever you spot the pattern, either you spot it on H1 or H4, if you spot the pattern, you can just execute whatever you see. Then as long as it's in line with the bias, the probability of your trade playing out will actually be higher, no matter where you enter from. Just make sure you've got proper risk to reward if you're day trading. But if you're swing trading, then you might have to look to the higher time frames. So I think that's it from me today. Oh, C5 just actually pushed down. I had forgot about this. So let me just quickly check it. So we've got B1 running. It's about to activate the sell limit we have on 13,800. Then we've got C5 also in motion. Okay, I'm just looking for reasons to actually scale it. But for now, I think I'm just happy with the positions I have here. But if we do break this level, I think I might just scale in one more time. If we break this low here right now, I might scale in again just for the last time. And I'll just be aiming, after I scale in, I'll just be aiming for 10 to 20 pips. And that setup should be complete. Because from here to here is 10 pips. So for now, this is really not a long-term trade, but it might change and just push down. The possibility of this just melting down is still there. If we use this as a fib, you will notice that price respected the 50 level there with that doji there. So this is a move which is in motion. So I'm still anticipating a few more spikes to the downside. So if we break below the current lows of today, I'm looking forward to scaling. And I want to pay attention to yesterday's lows as well. So we might also get a flip zone set up here for a continuation sell. So just keep that in mind if you are active on C500. Then B1000, has anything changed? Nothing has changed on my view. Still have the same buyers here. If we can get a spike, I think our other limit is also active. Yeah, it's active. So we've got two positions currently running on B1. If we break above this gray zone, this current zone here, that's where we scale in. Then we've got one last limit at 13,785. Then from there, we're just going to manage the trade and see what happens. I think that's it for me today, guys. We'll just get ready for NFP, but I'm not sure if I'll trade NFP today. I might trade after though. So I'll advise you guys maybe later on when New York session is about to open. I'll share my view. Then we'll see if we are actually going to trade it or not. But for now, C5 we're active, B1 we're active. So I think I'll just leave those two on my charts because I'm only active on these two. I might only be trading these two today. Okay, so that's it for me today, guys. If there's any questions, additions, or subtractions, you can still send a message in the Telegram group and we can discuss. If you're watching this on YouTube, if this content is helpful, don't forget to like, share, comments, and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a safe weekend. Good trade.